patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich, dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I will help you stop wasting time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for years. Resident and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The captain, Vershawn Chapman.
As a player, what do you think when your coach says they need to recruit better? Do you take it personally? You should. Go ahead, bro.
It should be personally because they're looking at a guy that wants to come in and take your spot. It only makes you play better. We need people here to push these kids to make each other better, not just coaches making them better, but they can make each other better on the field by the competition that they give each other. I think without no competition, kids get relaxed and their positions are never up for grabs.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into another edition of Outside the Box, being brought to you by Raising Cane's. I'm Joel Norman as we're chatting Lincoln Stars hockey. We're joined by the head coach of the Lincoln Stars, Rocky Russo. And Rocky, how are we doing tonight?
I'm good, Joel. I'm a little cold.
A little bit?
I'm a little flustered with the weather. It went from mid 70s to okay, we're going to enjoy some fall weather to bam, it's 10 degrees at night and it's winter. So I haven't got all my leaves cleaned up yet. I don't have my Christmas lights up yet. I still have pumpkins on my front porch from Halloween. So I'm hoping that after Thanksgiving, maybe we get a little dose of fall and we get back from Waterloo and then we have another trip right after Thanksgiving, Des Moines and Sioux Falls, and then the Christmas lights can go up, the leaves can get cleaned up, and then it can be winter. Then it can start to get cold. I still don't care for the snow, but at the end of the day, I need some more fall in my life before you just go right to wintertime. I'm good with Christmas music. We talked about that last time I was on the show. My daughters love the Christmas music. The guys have been listening to Christmas music a little bit in the locker room. They love the Michael Bublé stuff, which I think is great.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, they were rocking some Bublé in the locker room a couple days ago. So We've got some very eccentric choices in music, and the one day I'm sitting there and all of a sudden just 60s music comes out, and I was thrilled. Like, I love 60s music. I love the Jersey Boys and the Temptations and all that stuff. And I went around the corner and I'm like, all right, who's got the aux? I want to know. And of all people, Dashiell Oliver puts his hand up. Dashiell Oliver and Keaton Peters are the ones that bring that different type of music. So they have some really good taste when it comes to that. So I've loved that stuff in the room. Love the Christmas music. Not here for the cold winter weather just yet, though.
You're half in, half out right now. It seems like you're in the middle of 3 different holiday moods, but it's all kind of coming together, though.
It is, and we're almost a quarter of the way through our hockey season already. I'm not sure how we got that far so fast, but here we are.
It's hard to believe. It's been a fun start to this season for the Lincoln Stars. 10-3 now after another weekend sweep. Matched their season high with a 4-game winning streak. 2 more wins this past weekend, 5-2 against Omaha this past Friday, and then a 4-2 win against Des Moines on Saturday at the Icebox. And Rocky, the 10-3 start, you and I talked about this a little bit earlier today. It matches the best start for the team since 2015-16 through the first 13 games, when the Stars also went 10-3. How do you keep a hot start like this going? Because that season, the team kind of plateaued after they went 10-3 in their first 13. They were 20, 21, 2-1 the rest of the way. How do you keep guys kind of with their eyes focused on the prize the rest of the way, despite starting so well?
We don't focus on the big goal. We're not here to worry about what's going to happen in March and April. We're a process-driven organization, and we believe that there's work to be done on a daily basis. And I know that kind of sounds cliche, but that's the mentality that we have as a staff, and our players certainly buy into it. So, our focus is what can we accomplish today, tomorrow, and Thursday in order to be ready to play a great opponent on Friday in Waterloo.
Yeah, it is the Waterloo Blackhawks, who fans will recall from last year in the postseason, a 3-game set against the Stars. You dropped 2 of 3 to have an end of the season. Is that something that the returners ever, you ever talk
They
with
better
them
be.
about?
They better be.
You talk about that with
Yeah,
them?
I'm angry. I have some scores to settle. I listen. Congratulations to them. They won the series. Hats off to them. We beat ourselves. We beat ourselves in that series, and that I don't have any problem saying that. Our veterans certainly probably do have a chip on their shoulder for that. Our young guys that didn't experience it can feel for the veterans and can understand that we're 6 months away from being in that situation again, and we want to learn from it. We want to be better from it and more prepared for playoff hockey. But this is our first, obviously, opportunity to play them again. They're not the same team. We're not the same team. But still, we want to get some revenge, and we want to beat them twice in their building this weekend. But that obviously starts with game number 1 on Friday.
Is that something you bring up will bring up during the week this week, or do you kind of get this sense that the returners already have that on their mind?
You know what? I think that when it comes to stuff like that, I don't even need to mention it. Doug and Marcy and Antonio, obviously 3 of our 4 veteran captains, were a part of our team last year. They felt that pain when we lost that series, and I'm sure that they're handling things inside the room. That's not something I even need to bring up.
And it's obviously a crucial series. 2 games on the road, 7:05 on Friday, 6:05 on Saturday. Waterloo sits 4 points back of the Stars, who are tied with Fargo atop the Western Conference, and Fargo and Lincoln with 20 points apiece, the best point totals in the USHL. So we'll see Fargo a little bit later on as well. But Rocky, we're hitting a stretch where we're starting to see some opponents we haven't seen yet, and you're getting a chance to battle these teams at the top of the Western Conference. What do you think what are some things you really have to focus on over the next couple of weeks?
You know what? It's just us getting better. It's working on the same things that we talk about all the time. It's funny that, as talented as our players are and what a great league this is, we still have to just hammer the basics and the finer details. And, we talked about the importance of defending in transition and not giving up odd man rushes in our game on Saturday. And what happened? We gave up a bunch of odd man rushes, and obviously it ended up hurting us. But we came back and we battled through that. We didn't play our best game on Saturday, but we were really good when it counted in the third period, and we were managed to win a game there. But that's how the good teams are able to strike in this league, and the great teams are able to sustain offense as well if they don't score on that line rush and wear you down and score goals through that offensive zone possession. I think that's something that we're very good at, and so we need to be able to defend those, and consequently, a lot of their line rushes came from our mistakes in our offensive zone on Saturday night, and that's something that there's some give and take there, right? Like I allow the guys and give them the green light to play above the tops of the circles, activate our D, send them down the dot line, send them down the walls. Our forwards are comfortable with the puck high in the zone on their stick, which a lot of teams are not going to do. They're not going to play risky hockey like that. But I feel like if you do it now, and maybe you do make some mistakes like we did on Saturday, it's going to pay off in the long run, because they're going to know when they can push that envelope and when they can't, and they're going to feel confident to do it in the right time. So I'm happy to let them fail a little bit and learn from those mistakes so that they can continue to grow and improve.
Certainly felt like the home crowd was treated to a fun evening on Saturday. It just going to a hockey game, you got a little bit of everything out of that game. You had some breakaway saves. You had a breakaway goal that Mason Marcellus scored, and you and I touched on that a little bit after the game, but explain that for those who maybe didn't catch it. That was a set play that led to that goal, a face-off back in the Star zone end. You win the draw. Boston Buckberger banks it off of the wall. Mason Marcellus sneaks behind the defense and then goes 5-hole. Take us through that one.
Yeah, we moved. Normally, our two wingers would line up on the inside hash mark in front of our net, and our defenseman would line up on the board side. And so we moved Mason to the board side. We put the defenseman behind the face-off dot. And I kind of said to Mason, hey, if we win this draw, get up the ice a little bit and then get lost. Because what's going to happen is their strong side D is going to start to shift to the middle. That's going to allow you to create some space and get behind him. And I told Bucks, just make sure when you bank it off the yellow and not off the white. We'll get that nice hard ice box bounce, and Mason should be able to chase it down. And then, we said to Mason, it's up to you at that point. You got to put it in the net, and he was able to finish it.
That was such a fun play. Everything had to be perfect, like we said the other day, and it was. And I think it was really fitting that the three players who helped pull that off. Tanner Ludke wins the draw. Boston Buckberger with a perfect pass. Mason Marcellus scores. I mean, those are three guys you're looking to make those kinds of plays.
Absolutely. They're obviously, leaders and guys that have been crucial for us in big moments this year. Tanner started the scoring with the great goal early on in the first period, and Bucks has just continued to point every night and play sound defense. So, those are guys that you need to be able to contribute for us. And we've got others, obviously, and Doug Grimes and Keaton Peters and Antonio Fernandez and just all these guys that are expected to play good, sound 200-foot hockey, contribute when they can, but make sure that they're being leaders and setting an example and a high bar for the rest of the guys.
Another great weekend for Boston Buckberger. You mentioned him, 3 assists, and the Stars are now 9-0 in games when he records a point. What's the most impressive skill that he has brought to the Stars as a newcomer this year?
You know what? He's just poised with the puck, and he's playing a lot of minutes, obviously. Playing on our top pair with Antonio Fernandez. Both those guys are logging minutes in all situations, and Boston's just been able to, hold on to the puck when he needs to, escape when he needs to, make good decisions with it, break it out, join the rush, contribute offensively. Obviously, scored a big goal for us late in the game a couple weeks ago that gave us a win, and he's been a guy that's been able to adjust to this league rather quickly, which is why he was our first-round draft pick in the USHL Phase 2 draft last summer.
Obviously, he's fitting extremely well. Let's talk about a couple of guys. A guy who came back into the lineup this past weekend, Brendan Ali. He had missed 5 games, and boy, was it nice to have him back. We talked about what he can bring with his skill, his speed on the ice as well. He had an assist in both games, slotted on that line with Klaus Weinbergs and Michael Messick, and for the three of them, it was kind of back like they never left in a lot of ways with how they gelled. What was missed the most about not having Brendan Ali in the lineup?
Well, it's his pace, right? Like he just pushes it so hard. He's the first one to touch pucks. He's physically dominating. He's able to push the D back with his feet. He finishes his checks. He shoots pucks. He makes plays. He is really important to our penalty kill. He was over the wall first, killing penalties with Jack Larrigan for a stretch of games there before he got hurt, and so getting him back was it just makes us deeper and creates more pace for us and more physicality and adds another dimension to our forwards that we miss when we don't have them in the lineup.
I'm glad that you brought up him as a penalty killer. That was something I forgot. And that first time he stepped down on the PK, I thought, okay, that's right. I forgot how useful he was on this. You think of a lot of the other things he could do. He's a point-a-game player right now. You're thinking about the offensive talent, but obviously so useful to have a guy on both ends like that. This is Outside the Box as we're chatting Lincoln Stars hockey here on 93.7 The Ticket. Outside the Box is being brought to you by Raising Cane's. And we invite you to be part of the show. Give us a call on the Honda of Lincoln hotline at 402-464-5685 or text us on the Sartor Hammond text line to that same number, 402-464-5685. I'm Joel Norman alongside the head coach of the Lincoln Stars, Rocky Russo. And we did have some news this week for the Stars. Cole Krusberg-Rosine, we've been talking about him more and more every week. He was on the show last week. He was named the USHL Defenseman of the Week, and he's really started to kind of come into his own in recent weeks. You were saying a couple of weekends ago you thought he played his best hockey, and he just kind of seems to keep going on up. What's impressed you about him over the last couple of weeks?
Well, Cole, a lot like most guys that come from the North American Hockey League or any other junior hockey league for that matter, have an adjustment period. This league is so good. It's so fast. It's so talented. You don't have any time and space to make plays. And so the adjustment process for guys just takes a little bit of time. And Cole was playing with DJ and then he wasn't playing with DJ. Now he's back with DJ. And I think that's helped him. But more than anything, Cole's adjusted to the pace. He understands he's got to move his feet when he touches pucks. He's got to get pucks to the net. He's got to defend with his feet, close really fast and be physical. And that's the biggest thing that I've noticed and our staff has noticed in the last couple of weeks is he's playing a much more physical brand of hockey. He's defending and hitting and pinning and finishing his checks and making things difficult on our opponents. And I think that creates confidence in a player. And I know he's a 20-year-old and he's got junior hockey experience, but this USHL is just a different beast. And so really proud of how he's continued to grow. He fought through some adversity a few weeks ago and he wasn't playing well. Now he's playing great hockey and he's being rewarded for that.
Absolutely. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 5 games. No goals, 2 assists in the first 8 games. And we talked about it before the season. This was someone we expected to be a contributor offensively.
Second round pick. We knew we had to replace our D-core, and obviously we lost 5 out of our 7 D from last year. And so, hats off to our GM, Nick Fabrizio and Billy Puglisi, who's no longer with us, who's now scout for the Vancouver Canucks. My apologies.
Somewhere in the Pacific Northwest.
Vancouver. But those guys, they did a great job with our draft preparation. I was able to watch a lot of Boston's video and a lot of Cole's video. I knew we obviously needed D, and so that was where I was able to put my focus. And so it was an easy decision to pick those guys because we were all on the same page about what we thought they could bring to this league.
One thing with Krusberg-Rosine that's changed in addition to all the points recently are his shots on goal. 14 shots in the last 5 games after just 7 in the first 8 games. Is this a change that he kind of made on his own, was just getting more comfortable, or was this maybe just a recommendation from the coaching staff? Let's get a few more pucks on net.
It was a direct order.
Direct order. Okay.
Cole, shoot the puck, son. Cole's shot is as good as he is. Cole's shot is his best asset. It comes off his stick differently. I don't know exactly what it is, but he knows how to transfer his weight. He snaps it, and it's heavy. It's hard. He can put it where he wants it. And so we said, hey, this is a huge asset for you and something that I don't think you're utilizing enough. And I also knew in the back of my mind that the more offense he started to create, the more confident he would become in all the other assets of his avenues of his game. So we wanted to send him to a place where he was most comfortable, which is playing offense, allow him to create his confidence there, and then work our way out from that point.
He's really hit his groove recently, and another member of the Stars who has is Jack Larrigan. All of a sudden, he's scored twice in his last 3 games, after he had no goals in his previous 38 USHL games. And you were saying this too, Rocky. He was due for some goals. He'd been playing well, just hadn't gotten rewarded. Well, now they're kind of starting to come for Jack. What's been the biggest difference for him as of late that's led to the puck getting to the back of the net a little bit more?
You know what? More than anything, it's a matter of Jack being confident. That Jack is 100% a confidence player, and the thing with Jack is he was incredibly dynamic in the youth levels. I mean, hundreds of points playing for Shattuck St. Mary's, and Jack's one of those kids that probably left prep school a little early, and he did so out of necessity because of COVID, not knowing whether they were going to be playing or not. He went to the USHL as a 16-year-old, and it was a tough go for him. He didn't play nearly as much as he should have when he was that age. He then came to us last year, and we were pretty deep up front, and he struggled a little bit. He was still a good penalty killer, but he wasn't creating any offense because he didn't have the confidence to move his feet. We sent him to the North American League. He even struggled for his first 10 or 15 games there. Then he found his footing, started to score a lot in the second half of the year, and came back as a new kid with a lot of confidence. And I think it hit him again when he wasn't scoring right away early on in the season. And I just talked to him about staying the course and being confident. And when you get your chances, you got to bury them. And, he wasn't generating a lot of chances. He was still doing really good things. He was passing the puck, creating offense, still killing penalties, touching pucks first with a forecheck. But he was able to score in Sioux City last week. He scores the empty netter on Saturday against Des Moines. And, those are things that'll help push him in the right direction and continue to hopefully allow him to find his name on the score sheet.
And it's nice to see him getting those. You could tell it was something he was hungry to get some goals and to really jump in. And as we said, those have been coming a little bit here recently. Let's talk about our upcoming guests on the show. Two different types of players. Defenseman Adam Kleber and center Klavs Weinbergs will join us. Adam has been a guy who I think if you're watching closely, you can tell how good he is immediately, despite how young he is. What's impressed you the most about him?
He's a stud. He's a stud. He's a first-round NHL draft pick. You'll never know when you talk to him. I mean, he is humble. He's actually quite funny. He's got this dry personality that until you get to know him, he just kind of seems like he's a little introverted. But he's super funny. He's really mature. He's respectful. You can tell how well he's been raised as a young man. And to be able to play in this league at the level that he's playing as a 16-year-old kid is just, it's fun to watch. I'm privileged and honored that his parents allowed us to be a part of his developmental process, because he is absolutely going to play in the National Hockey League one day. And in the meantime, he's going to be such an integral part to our success here for next year and the year after, and then eventually matriculating on to the University of Minnesota Duluth.
He's been a lot of fun to watch. So, well, for me, what sticks out is just his ability to block shots. Every time he's so willing to get up there, makes a lot of little movements to get in the way of them. Does such a good job with that. Let's touch on Weinbergs. He was a guy, obviously, there's plenty of excitement about him when he got here. Former NHL draft pick this past summer by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Got 2 goals on Friday. He seems like he's kind of coming into his own a little bit now. What have you noticed with him in recent weeks?
Sometimes with those European players, they need to adjust to hockey here in the States. The ice is a little smaller. The urgency going north is much, much more. They play a puck possession, patient, sometimes south type of mentality in Europe, and here it's we want to transition, we want to get on top of you, we want to get behind you, and so that took him a little bit, and I was able to have some conversations with him and talk about what the expectations are here for him, what our non-negotiables are in regards to how we ask him to play, and make him understand that the things that we're asking him to do will directly benefit him as he grows as a player. He also had a very unique situation. It's an NHL draft pick without an agent walking into the USHL showcase in Pittsburgh. That's it's essentially unheard of. And I was tasked with managing all of this. I didn't even talk to Tampa Bay about exactly what they wanted until kind of the thing had spun off the rails a little bit. And so we were able to kind of close up the circle a little bit, push all the Sharks back. We got him an agent. We started to settle on some schools. And now he's been on 4 visits. I suspect he will be making his college decision in the next couple of days. And I think that's going to be a tremendous weight off of his shoulders. Then he can just focus on playing. He'll know where he's going to school next year, and he won't have to worry about all this other stuff.
That was going to be my next question do you think maybe just getting a little bit more comfortable just with that, getting some clarity in the college situation helps a little bit as well? Because obviously for these uncommitted players in the USHL, it's got to be something that weighs on your mind.
Well, it's such a distraction because you know, it's one thing if you know, hey, I'm not committed, but I'm going to be patient. I'm going to get something when the time's right. It's another thing when, you know, they're just beating down your door like they were with Clavs early on in the season. And not only was it with the schools, but it was the agents. I mean, there's 25 agents calling him, and there's all these different schools calling him. And he's such a nice kid. He wants to have an hour-long conversation with everybody. So I'm like, Clavs, you talked to 8 schools last night for 6 hours. Like, you're clearly not focused on what we're doing here. I don't blame you for that. I understand how challenging this can be, but we've got to put our priorities back in line. First thing we need to do is have that advisor that can help you through this process, and then we need to close the door on some of these schools and just focus on the ones that you're really serious about. Then you can turn your attention to hockey and make sure that your priorities are in order.
And it seems like it's become that way. He had 2 goals on Friday against Omaha, as well as 1 assist in the Stars' 5-2 victory. We'll take a quick break here on Outside the Box, being brought to you by Raising Cane's. When we come back, we'll be joined by defenseman Adam Kleber and forward Klavs Weinbergs. This is 93.7 The Ticket.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So, don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
What does continuing education mean to you? At Southeast Community College, it means helping you advance. Whether that's a certification to help your current career or learning an entirely new career in healthcare, trades and industry, or computers and technology, SCC can help you take the next step. Financial assistance is available too. Learn more about our continuing ed classes at southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to personal and professional development.
Look at your car. It's filled with a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paint repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Chances are you haven't started thinking about holiday shopping yet. Chances are your holidays will be much less stressful if you could do all of that shopping in one place. Chances are you can have all that shopping done today with the help of Beatrice Bakery. Pick up Grandma's fruitcakes in sizes all the way up to 5 pounds, and you can sit back and relax this year. Order now at BeatriceBakery.com or buy them here in Lincoln at the From Nebraska gift shop at 8th and Q. Beatrice Bakery, welcome to our world of yum.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Talking more Lincoln Stars hockey here on Outside the Box, being brought to you by Raising Cane's. I'm Joel Norman, and the Stars are on the road this weekend to take on the Waterloo Blackhawks. Don't forget that next week, though, on the night before Thanksgiving, this coming 2 Wednesdays from now, the Stars will be at home to take on the Tri-City Storm for a Blackout Wednesday. It'll be a BOGO ticket offer for that game. You can get your tickets for that one now at LincolnStars.com. Head coach of the Stars, Rocky Russo, and I talking a little bit about the early success of this team. We're joined now by defenseman Adam Kleber. And Adam, you guys have been off to a fun start to begin this season, 10-3 so far. I said it to Rocky before. That's the best start through the first 13 games of the year for this team since 2015 and 16. From your point of view as a player, what have you guys done so well to get off to this hot of a start?
I think just we have great leaders that just instilled the culture from last year and like the habits that we want to play, and especially coaching and just everyday film and just making sure that we're playing the right way and getting off to a hot start.
It's got to be fun for you, a younger guy getting to jump up. You're playing up a little bit here. Youngest guy on the team, too, at 16. What's that adjustment process been like?
Yeah, I never would have thought that I would have played in the USHL this year, and it would have been such a seamless transition. Like, I would be able to be fortunate enough to play and have like a really good role on the team and feel like I'm contributing. And I think just like I said, like coaches, leaders, they've all just been super helpful and, making me confident and just play your game and you'll be fine.
Stars defenseman Adam Kleber joining us here on Outside the Box, being brought to you by Raising Cane's. Adam, to begin the season, you were playing a lot with Boston Buckburger, and Rocky was saying that was kind of to ease you in and to make the transition as seamless as possible. What'd you learn a lot from playing with Boston?
I think, well, first and foremost, he just works super hard, and I think all his habits that he works on and skills and practice, they translate. And if you want to be a good player, you can't take any reps off and practice and skills, and like he's the true example of it shows in games. And just works hard, and like the skills he does and skills and practice, they show up. So
and it's worked really well for him as well so far. Rocky, I was going on to go back to that. You talked about, you wanted to ease him in initially, but then you took him away from Buckburger, kind of when Antonio Fernandez came back. And you said, the training wheels were now off of Adam Kleber. Explain what you meant by that and what he did to give you that confidence.
Well, I mean, Cleves has just been. You expect guys to struggle, and he's had his moments where he's learning, but I don't think there's been any situation where he was out of place or struggling. And so, we wanted him playing with a veteran defenseman early to take some pressure off. Eventually, we felt like, hey, he's more than capable of playing with anybody on our team, and so he's had the opportunity to play with Marion. He's had the opportunity to play with CR. He's probably had some shifts with DJ. He's had some shifts with Tony. So, and the one thing that stuck out to me when I had my meeting with Adam last month was, hey, you're probably not gonna be playing with Boston, but we're gonna put you with some other guys. And he just said, Coach, it's cool. I don't really care who I play with. I just want the opportunity to get out there and help the team win. And I thought that was a really mature answer. Some guys get rattled if they're not with the same partner all the time. I just don't think that's realistic. When you get to college, you're going to play with different guys. You've got to be prepared to get out and do your job no matter who you're with. And I think Adam's done a great job of that.
Adam, how do you prepare for situations like that where it's nice when you do have a stretch where you're with a guy for a while, but maybe you're in a period of transition? You're going to see some different guys. How do you prepare, or do you change at all?
I think that the changes are, who you're going to be with that weekend in practice, so you get the whole week to practice with them. And I think it's just good to be with new guys and learn how to play with other guys, because like Rocky said, when you get to college, you're not going to have your way all the time. You're going to be, you don't know where the coach is going to put you because it's a much harder level of play. So I think you just got to be prepared for it and just kind of roll with the punches, I guess, however it happens.
So explain to fans how your process is going as a 16-year-old playing junior hockey. I'm sure your billets, I'm sure your family is very aware, but maybe the general Stars fan isn't aware. What's your typical day like? You've got practice, but then probably a lot of schoolwork to do as well.
Yeah, so practice, and then Tuesdays and Wednesdays we have study hall from 4 to 5:30. Go home, have dinner, and I live with Tanner Ludke, Jimmy Jursev, and Henry Nelson. So there's never a dull moment at the household. There's always good laughs. And so go home, have dinner, and basically just talk, watch hockey with them, watch football, spend some good family time.
A lot of good players to be with there. Rocky, do you like it when the guys are in these bigger houses? It's so great when billets can take on as multiple players, but especially for younger players, it's going to be awesome.
Well, I mean, Adam is fortunate, and it was by design that he's living with the Johnsons, and Patty's our billet coordinator, and the Johnsons have been a part of the Stars organization for 25, 26 years since the inception. So, I always try kind of to, at least I have the last 2 years since I've been here, to get our younger players with families that are prepared to take a younger guy. And Tanner and Henry lived there last year, and with Michael Mastro Domenico. So those guys were in high school. And so I wanted Adam to be there, and it's such a mix of different personalities in that house. I think it's great. And Tanner, I think, is a little bit of a prankster and a jokester, and probably likes to stir the pot a little bit. Henry's the same way. I'm not sure about Jimmy. Jimmy might be a little bit more reserved, but I know that's a good mix of guys in that house, and I know they're very well taken care of by the Johnsons, and I know they enjoy their experience there.
Rocky talked about your other housemates. What's your personality like in that place, Adam?
I think Jimmy, he's kind of the more neutral guy. Like he'll laugh at the jokes, but he's more like, I'll stay out of it. And then I'd say Henry and Tanner usually gang up on me, and I think Tanner usually tries to stir the pot mostly, but I get some good comebacks in there. You get some good ones in there. It's all good fun at the end of the day.
Probably makes it a lot of fun. We were talking about it a little bit before, that challenge of, juggling the school and the hockey. How is that something that you deal with? You do have a couple of days of the week you can kind of focus on just the school. You don't have to do that every day. You can kind of primarily focus on hockey, but is it kind of hard to get back into that mindset of doing the schoolwork when you're pretty much a full-time hockey player?
I think, naturally I've always been a good student, so I'm just used to going home and, getting all the schoolwork out of the way. But it's kind of nice that, you get to be at the rink all day, and then all you got to do is 2 hours of homework at night and you're pretty much good. You don't have to sit in school the whole day. So it's kind of a luxury. Like, it's kind of nice that, all right, I get to do homework now. I didn't have to sit at school the whole day. So
We were talking a little bit about your personality beforehand, about how, you're definitely a younger guy. You're trying to, you're coming out more and more as the season goes along. My favorite instance of your personality was from in October at the Eagle Hollow Haunts, the farms. I remember seeing, we had videos there because we were getting video of you guys going through the place. There was one spot where we knew where people were going to come out and scare you, and you didn't flinch on the video. There are other guys who were going by and you didn't flinch. Take us through that, because you've got to be pretty stone cold minded as a defenseman in general, because you have to be ready. But in a haunted house, really didn't scare you?
I don't know. I guess I just have ice in my veins, but I've never done a haunted house before, and it was actually pretty fun. I loved it. I wish we could do it again, but it was 30 minutes away, so I probably don't need to drive that far. But
and we're a little bit past Halloween at this point too.
It was fun though. I liked it. I thought it wasn't going to be as scary, but it was pretty scary. Like, it was the people's laugh. It was pretty spooky. I probably didn't look scared, but inside I was probably scared a couple times.
So you moving at all is a sign of scare. For other people, they've got to jump completely, though, I guess.
Yeah, different reactions for different people, I guess.
What's it been like gelling with this group so far? We talked about how it's got to be really nice to live with several teammates already. So the transition, I was talking to Carson Bidens, the newest member of the team, and I asked what the biggest challenge was, and he said just remembering everyone's name. You come into a new team, a lot of returners, but you're living with some guys already, and getting into a good, pretty comfortable spot, almost a quarter of the way through the season. How do you think this team has come along in terms of just their energy and their ability to gel very well?
Well, I think in my past experience, like last year in high school, it sort of ends out to be where like the better players kind of have their own groups, and certain people kind of hang out together. But on this team, like the oldest player and the younger players, they'll hang out, or like the guys with the most points and the least points will hang out. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone's friends. Like, there's no groups. Everyone's welcoming. And that's probably what helps the team gel the most.
And I think that's exactly what the coaching staff would say, is you don't want there to be any cliques. You want everyone to be kind of held together. Do you think was that just something that came naturally, or was there, somewhere along the way, someone's like, okay, everyone needs to get along with everyone regardless of your age or where you're going?
I think just a bunch of great people. And I think that people know to win a Clark Cup, you need to have a good bond with people and build that chemistry. And that starts from including everyone and not having, like what you said, cliques just bonding with everyone.
You're committed to play at the University of Minnesota Duluth, and you talked a little bit before about you enjoying schoolwork with some stuff. What do you want to? I always love to hear what guys want to do hockey wise. I'm always kind of curious. What are you looking to study though while you're in college?
Sports medicine. I've always been interested in that, how the body works. So yeah, that'd be cool to study for sure.
Kind of as a backup to a hockey career, maybe too.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
I imagine that would be a good field for you too, as we're chatting with Stars defenseman Adam Kleber here on Outside the Box, brought to you by Raising Cane's. Would that be something that you're interested in majoring in, but it could also help you as an athlete, maybe just with recovery, with nutrition and whatnot, maybe as well?
Oh, for sure. I think the more information you know, it's always just an advantage, because the margin for error and just like the margin for what separates players can be just information. And if you have more information and know what to do with your body and all that stuff, then you'll most likely have the advantage.
What's something you've learned with the Stars that maybe it's improved you for the better? Not just, with hockey. Is it maybe something with your conditioning or something like that people might not expect you would learn just by moving into the USHL? What's something you've learned here?
I think that you got to come to the rink every day with a winner's mentality, and like you can't take a day off. Like, something that I realize is it's just crazy how like NHL teams like the Maple Leafs handle it, where the media is on them every day, and it's 82 game schedule and they're judged by win and losses. And even though it's the USHL, like you're still judged by how you're doing, and you got to be dialed in every day because it's 2 games every week and you got to be prepared for them.
It sounds like that it's something you've learned a little bit as well here. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more. This is Outside the Box, being brought to you by Raising Cane's.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Chances are you haven't started thinking about holiday shopping yet. Chances are your holidays will be much less stressful if you could do all of that shopping in one place. Chances are you can have all that shopping done today with the help of Beatrice Bakery. Pick up Grandma's fruitcakes in sizes all the way up to 5 pounds, and you can sit back and relax this year. Order now at BeatriceBakery.com or buy them here in Lincoln at the From Nebraska gift shop at 8th and Q. Beatrice Bakery, welcome to our world of yum.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
At Koppel Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Koppel, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Koppel Chevrolet GMC.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Outside the Box, being brought to you by Raising Cane's here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Joel Norman, and we're chatting with Stars defenseman Adam Kleber and forward Klobs Weinbergs. And Klobs, I want to jump right into it, talk about your work this past weekend. Brendan Ali was back in the lineup, and it seemed like that was a big help with you. You had 2 goals on Friday and an assist. How nice was it having him back?
Yeah, it was 100% really good having him back, because he can help me on the ice a lot as a powerful winger. He's a power horse, as I said before. I mean, that wasn't only him. It was also Michael Messick that helped our lineup, and I guess we're just pumped for every shift.
Yeah, and it worked out really well. 5-2 win against Omaha last Friday, and then last Saturday, a 4-2 win over Des Moines at the Icebox. Adam, what do you think you guys did the best? What did you? That was the common theme of the 2 games you guys did best to win those 2 games.
Well, I think in Omaha we had a really fast start. We're just in the offensive zone for the first 5 minutes or so, or even though we gave up the first goal, we had a great response to their goals, and we just hung in there, and eventually we overturned the game in our way.
Yeah, and it really helped out those 2. So Saturday, you guys had kind of a back and forth game, but you got it done late in that one. And Klobs, your line was on the ice when the eventual game-winning goal was scored, but you were off the ice once the goal was scored. You guys were in the midst of a great offensive possession. Take me through that. It felt like you were really gelling right before that goal found the back of the net.
You mean the power play goal?
No, the goal on Saturday where you left the ice, Keaton Peters came on, and then he scored. But you guys were really keeping the momentum going and were able to shift in the middle of an attack. What was going so well for you guys on that shift?
Yeah, I guess we just kept possession in their zone for a while, and I figured out that maybe I should change and let a new guy come in and instead in my place, and I guess that worked out well because Keaton came on the ice and scored right away.
Yeah, right away in place of you. So you've got to be like, he's doing with my line mates out there. But no, it was nice. It was big time for that goal as well. Klobs, you had a one-timer on the power play to score a 4-on-3 goal on Friday. We've seen you wind up on a one-timer a lot. Sometimes they've hit the net. Sometimes it's been a big save. Sometimes you just miss. How nice was it to get one home?
It was a really big relief for me because every practice, what I do is just hit the one-timers before the practice, and it's good to have the first one.
Saw you doing that a little bit today as well, hitting the target as well. So big games for you guys coming up this weekend, taking on Waterloo on the road. This is the first time there's been 2 games on the weekend away from home in a couple of weeks, about 3 weeks, I think, since the last time. It didn't work out last time, though, losing to Omaha and Tri-City. What do you guys think needs to be different this time around? I'll start with you, Adam.
I think just like how we played against Omaha last Friday, a strong start, moving the puck quick because it's an Olympic sheet. You don't want to get caught in the offensive zone with the other team, just getting you tired and chasing. So you really want to move the puck quick, be smart with your plays, and really get up the ice quick so that you can have a lot of offensive time.
Adam, you're a defenseman. Klobs, you're a forward. Does a bigger sheet affect a forward or a defenseman a little bit more? Is it more of an adjustment? What would you say, Klobs?
I would say it's pretty much for both of us, like center, forwards and defensemen. And I would also agree with Kleber, Adam Kleber, that passing the puck would be a great idea because when you have to skate on that big of an ice, it's hard. and passing the puck around would help a lot.
As a defenseman, I mean, there's only 2 of you out there, Adam. You're taking up a lot of space, and you have to cover even more ground now. Is it important to just keep shifts shorter or something? Is that something? Tell me what the coaching staff has talked with you about this week.
I don't think they've necessarily talked about playing on an Olympic size sheet. I think you just got to be smarter, change when you need to change. Don't get caught out there. I think the biggest difficulty with Olympic size rink is when the forwards have the puck on the wall and you got to go out far and then come back towards the net, kind of the sideways movement of it. And especially in the corners when it's bigger and they can beat you to the net quicker or more space. So I think that's the biggest difficulty.
One thing I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit next was, I'll start with Cloves on this. You were NHL draft pick this past year. What did that mean to have your name called for something like that? That had to be really exciting.
Yeah, I can be honest with you. I didn't even watch the draft.
How'd you find out then that you were drafted when Tampa selected you in the last round?
Yeah, so I was just on the sofa watching a movie, and my phone just started to ring, and it wasn't just one call; it was like 3 calls in a row, and yeah, I was pumped for sure.
It had to be really exciting. And Adam, before you came on, your head coach Rocky Russo was talking about how he thinks you're a future NHL draft pick. What does that mean, hearing that from your head coach here in the USHL?
Yeah, that's really nice to hear and get the confidence from your coach and that he believes in you. Just super humbling. And I would say though, I wouldn't want to bet against myself, but that's a long ways away. A lot of work to do to get to that point, and it's a lot of speculation from now. It's a long ways to go, so a lot of work to get to that point.
And I'm glad you brought that up because there is a lot of work. What's one thing right now you think I need to improve this just based on your own self-evaluation? I'll start with you, Adam.
Well, a lot of it comes from just the weight room, and the weight room translates a lot into skating speed, shot power, and physicality. So just being super dialed in the weight room, not skipping reps, just going in there every day, trying to get stronger.
Cloves, what's one thing when you do self-evaluation, see I need to improve on this to get to the next level?
I find myself during the week, I'm not always perfect on my schedule, and I would say consistency would be the key in this case, and I guess that would be for everyone, because to reach big goals, you have to have a consistent work and enjoy every day's process.
Thanks for joining us here today, guys, as we've got a couple of big games coming up this weekend. The Stars taking on Waterloo, and hope to get a couple more wins, get that win streak up to at least 5 games. Thanks for being with us, Adam and Cloves.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
This has been Outside the Box. Don't forget the Stars on the road this weekend. They'll be back home next Wednesday when they take on the Tri-City Storm, 7:05 p.m. the night before Thanksgiving. I'm Joel Norman. This is 93.7 The Ticket.